Hey everyone, what's up? It's your girl Amanda and I am back. So y'all know, if y'all been watching some of the videos, that your girl went under the knife. If you haven't watched those videos, you need to go watch those videos. I'm gonna give you a short kind of overview of what those videos are talking about, but to get the full detail, go see those other two videos. So basically your girl was having some V bleeding. I ended up going to the OBGYN. Ended up discovering I had a cyst, and one cyst turned into two cysts, and then I had to have surgery, and here we are. Y'all know how I was trying to give y'all little references or whatever. This right here is exactly 7 centimeters big. Not only was this in my body, but y'all, what? Y'all try walking around like that.
Try being my size.
That is painful. That is big. First off, I was not nervous for the surgery. I was completely fine. And then on the way there, in my mind, I'm like, it's about to go down. So when I went to the surgery center and I checked in and everything like that, I'm sitting there waiting to be called back. In my mind, I already know the process of what's about to take place, because not only did I watch videos, but I also had a surgery before. And so I already know, when you go back, they have you change your clothes, they put IV in you, and then you just pretty much wait in the back until your doctor is ready to do your surgery. And then you go back, go to sleep, have the surgery, and then you go into the recovery room. Easy peasy. But for some reason, when I went, I was kind of getting nervous, because I knew deep down what was about to happen. This isn't just a simple surgery like how I had before on my elbow. This was something that they're going actually inside of me to do. So that part was kind of registering in my head as I was waiting. And as that was registering, I'm just like, there's no turning back. I have to get them out. I cannot continue to live like this with a 7 centimeter cyst in my body, as well as a 3 centimeter cyst on a 3.5 size ovary. So when I went back, the lady took me to basically get some vitals and answer some questions. And then when I was done with that, she then took me to a restroom, and she's like, take everything off and put on the robe, put on the socks, yada, yada, yada. So I was like, all right, cool. Just close the door. I did what she said. I used the restroom, and I just looked at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, when I came out the restroom, I'm like, I walked out the room, and I'm like, oh, where do I go? Because you have other people in there waiting too for their surgery, which it's not the same surgery. Everyone in there does not get the same surgery. Some people have surgery on different things. And so I was just in there, and I'm like, where do I go? I have other patients looking at me. I'm looking at them yeah, we all in the same boat right now. And then I'm looking for the nurses, and they're just like. So I walk to number 3, get into bed. Then the lady comes, and she's like, all right, so now I'm gonna start your IV. So she got my hand. Well, first she checked my arm, and I told her same thing. I was like, look, I have small and rolling veins, so good luck. She stuck me in, we were in. She tapes it all down, she leaves, and she comes back. She's like, would you like anything to keep you kind of calm? And I already know that's AKA you finna go back in a little bit. So I'm like, yes. So now it's I'm kind of getting a little sleepy. Mind you, I was already up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Then she comes back again, but this time was to come and get me. I get to the operating room. They raise the bed for me so that I can slide into the operating table. I'm looking around, and I'm like, just stay calm. Just stay calm. You're good. And so I say a little quick prayer in my head, and I'm like, Lord, I'm nervous. And so I slide over to the table, and they stretch me wide, honestly, as though I was Jesus. As I'm laying on the table, you have someone putting leads on me to monitor my heart, my oxygen. They put the thing on for my finger, and I'm just laying there, and I'm just y'all need to be careful, because I got this IV in my hand. That's the only thing I could think about was I have IV in my hand. Y'all are being really rough right now. And so I'm just laying on the table, And then this sweet lady, she comes and she's just like rubbing my arm, and I'm just like, thank God for you. Because I don't know if she could see the nervousness in my face, but she was just like rubbing my arm. She's like, yeah, this is so and so, he's doing this. This is so and so, she's doing that, and we're gonna put this on you, and just like pretty much explaining everything that's taking place as they're doing it and stuff. And so I'm like, thank God I have somebody that's in here just low-key like catering to me right now, because your girl was freaking out. And I was like ready to come off that table and say, forget everything. So one of the guys, he comes and he just puts on this mask over my face. And he's like, just take some nice, slow, deep breaths. So I'm like, is this the anesthesia? Like, that's what I'm thinking in my head. Like, no, this can't be it. So I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, no, like, I don't feel any different. So no, it's just oxygen. Okay, cool. Then, he's like, just take slow breaths. And y'all, like, when the mask goes on your face, honestly, I felt like then I couldn't breathe. And I'm like, in my head, like, if this is oxygen to breathe, why do I feel like I can't breathe? So then I'm like, oh my gosh, just calm down. Like, just do what he said. Like, obviously he knows what he's talking about. Just take some nice, slow, deep breaths. You'll be fine. And then a guy comes next to me and he's like, all right, so now we're gonna, I'm gonna start the anesthesia. And I'm like, oh, okay, so that was just oxygen. Okay. And then, he shoots the anesthesia inside of the IV. And I'm just laying there and I'm like, I'm breathing in the mask. And y'all, when I tell you I almost came off that table, your girl was finna skedaddle on. Like, I did like that and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what's going on? And then the next thing I know, like, my eyes, like, they were just fluttering, and then I went out. And then that brings me up to the recovery part, because obviously I don't know what transpired during that time. Tell me why, when I was like coming out of the anesthesia, I kept seeing this one lady. I don't know who she was, but all I kept seeing was her doing this to me. And I'm like thinking to myself, what is she doing? Coming out of anesthesia is so difficult in the sense of like, you know that you're alive and you know like you're there, but also in the sense like the medicine is just keeping you asleep and you're just trying to fight it. So like the male nurse that was filling with papers, he came over and he's like, hey, like, are you ready to start changing and everything? And I'm like, yeah, my mom. And he already knew what that meant, like, go get my mom. So he went to get my mom. My mom came, she helped me put on my gown and everything like that. And then I sat in the wheelchair and they wheeled me on. The recovery, honestly, I would say is not as bad as some people portrayed it to be. I went in thinking the worst. And that's what I also want to talk about too, because I watched some videos, and that's why I said like I really wanted to do this whole journey with you guys, because sometimes like people put things out there and you may think, oh, you know, that's gonna be me, but also like they don't give you the full details of everything. So that's what I wanted to touch on for the recovery part. And I'm talking like the next day, because obviously you're still sedated, you still have like medication in you. I would say the days to follow that, I was in pain, but not to the point where it was excruciating. For me, my pain was, the only way I could like kind of get you guys to understand it was like, if you recall when we were kids and you would like run on the streets, and if you fell and like scraped your knee, then you go put on like some pants and it rubs up against it and it hurts a little bit. That's what it mainly felt like for me. My pain really wasn't as bad as some people portrayed it to be. And then also too, the main thing that hurts for me right now is just my belly button. Like my other incisions, they don't hurt as bad. And honestly, they look really good compared to what I expected them to look like. They're just like 4 little holes, and it's not really that bad. But I will say the gas part, because a lot of people were also like, oh, you're gonna feel a lot of gas up in here, and it's gonna feel like you can't breathe, and it's gonna feel this, and it's gonna feel like that. Honestly, I didn't get any of that. And no, I didn't drink a lot of hot tea. I think I only had 1 cup of hot tea, to be honest, and that was just yesterday. And that's just because I wanted something warm to drink. I will say, though, the only thing that I had a hard time with was from when they put the tube in my throat to, like, help me breathe, basically, during surgery. I came out with, like, a scratchy throat. But other than that, like, I was fine. Yo, your girl done lost some pounds already. This picture is literally 24 hours apart. So on the left side, obviously, that was me with the 2 cysts. If you don't know about ovarian cysts, they do make you gain unexplained weight. When I was in college, no lie, I started gaining weight, but I just figured, okay, well, maybe it's because, like, I was eating out a lot. I didn't have to go to as many classes, so I was, like, in my room just chilling, watching TV. I don't know. So I just figured, okay, well, maybe that's why I gained weight. So I tried to lose weight, barely could lose weight. I lost my grandmother, so then I started losing a little bit of weight, but my weight still didn't budge much. So then I'm like, I don't eat a lot, and I get to, like, it's not necessarily how much you eat, but it's what you eat. So I understood that. So in my mind, I'm like, but I'm not eating a lot of cookies, I'm not eating a lot of cakes, because y'all, when I was a little kid, I was a junkie. We went to the doctor to see what was going on. They're like, oh, if you try eating this and then not eating late and then da-da-da. And I'm like, in my head, like, I hear you and I don't hear you because I'm not doing that. And so I just kept trying to lose weight, kept walking, even got gym membership, even like tried different workouts. Nothing would budge. So then, like, recently, like I said, when I went to the doctor, and they're like, oh yeah, you have this going on. And then when I Googled it, and they're like, yeah, it can cause unexplained weight gain. So then I'm like, that is probably why I gained weight and cannot lose weight, because of what was going on in my body. So like I said, this picture was 24 hours apart. And as you can see on the left, I pretty much looked like I was pregnant. And then on the other side, it looked like I just delivered the baby. But I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see y'all in the next video.